Hello, folks. This is Mr. Messerman with the IESPS podcast. FOTU number 1. I can determine the independent and dependent variable to determine the materials, tools, and techniques needed for an investigation. Really, what this is about knowing what the independent and dependent variables are. And when you do an experiment, you need to know how to deal with these variables. What are we testing? What materials do we need to do the tests? Just looking around my backyard, I look at this maple tree and I start thinking about, what can I learn from making some measurements of this maple tree? For example, can I look at the height above the ground of branches or leaves? What else can I look at? Can I look at the size of leaves? Things like that. So what if I was going to measure and determine if there's any relationship between the height of the leaf and how big it is? Well, it wouldn't be too hard to collect that data. We just have to measure the height of a leaf and then measure its size, like for example, these 6 leaves right here. And when we do that, we might come up with a graph that looks like this. On the x-axis is the height above the ground. On the y is the leaf length. Height is called the independent variable or the manipulated variable because we can choose where to pull leaves out of the tree. The leaf length is the dependent or responding variable. And we want to see, in this case, how the height above the ground affects the length of the leaves. And indeed, we do see a little bit of an effect. It gets bigger as we go up in the tree. I made up this data anyway. It's not real data, just to illustrate the point. So here are the notes. The independent variable, also known as the manipulated variable. This is the variable that we can adjust, we can manipulate. For example, it is the height above the ground. We can choose which heights to pull leaves out of the tree. The dependent variable, on the other hand, is also known as the responding variable. This is the variable that reacts, that changes when we change our independent variable. It responds to the independent variable. For example, the size of the leaves in the tree. How does that respond or change with changing height? So, no matter what we study, flowers, or airplanes, or forest fires, or even breakfast food and nutrition, we want to know what variables we can change and what variables will respond to that change. Thanks for watching.